Hello, everyone. I know it's a bit, there we go. I know it's a bit drab, but hopefully you can hear me and see me okay. Hello, DJ. Trying to do something on my phone at the same time here. Don't know how well that's going to work. But we'll try out the internet here in the place and see how long we can keep this going for. I want to say, hello, David, that if you own a business in Siem Reap, whether you're renting an apartment, you might have a restaurant or something. I had a very frustrating experience earlier. A friend of mine he lives in Kampong Tom. He wants to move to Siem Reap. He found an apartment that he really liked. Nice, big, spacious, swimming pool, everything he wanted. And he has the money. He's willing to move here tomorrow if I went and checked it out and made sure it was like what the pictures look like and everything. And I was willing to do that. I figured I could also get some video and show you guys in my next video what a $300 apartment looks like, since I just did all those videos with the cheap apartments. But I don't know what happened, but when I finally contacted the guy, he just kept saying it was by Sakralan, one of the markets here. And I kept saying, yes, I'm familiar with that area, but I need an exact location. Sakralan has many, many apartments and apartment buildings around it of all sorts and kinds. So it's a pretty big area. And then he said, well, I already told you where it is. It's Sakralan. And I'm like, but where in Sakralan? Couldn't figure it out. This was like 11 o'clock in the morning. I told him I was going to see it for my friend. I was going to take some pictures and a little video for him. Before, of course, he moves all the way here with all this stuff, make sure everything was cool. And then he never called me back. He never got a hold of me. So about 5:30, several hours later, I just messaged him and said, so are we not going to be able to see it today? He messaged me right back and go, oh, if you want to come down right now, I'll meet you down Sakralan and take you to go see it. And I was like, okay, great. Still enough daylight. Everything's cool. We got down there, and when I checked my phone when we got down there, I saw he had left me a couple other messages. I had it on mute, so I didn't hear any notifications or anything. It was in my pocket. And like at 6:01, he was like, well, if you're not coming, I'm going to leave. And we got there at 6:17. I messaged him right back and said, okay, we're on the corner right now. I sent him my location via Google Maps so he could in the exact spot where I was. And then I saw he had tried to call once, so I tried calling that number back. And we waited down there for probably a half hour, 45 minutes. He never messaged me back. He never got back a hold of me on WhatsApp or Messenger. Nothing. So I don't understand what the big deal was of not just giving me the location. He could have just said, here's Google Maps. Here's where the apartment building is. Meet me right there. So at least I had an idea. But so if you do own a business here, please, I'm begging you, just do the right thing. Give a location and give a price, because a lot of times the restaurants here do the same thing. You'll see really yummy pictures of food on Facebook, and they'll take pictures of the food and occasionally a picture of the outside of their building. No location or no prices. So you don't really know what to expect. Those pictures could have just been taken off the web. Probably not, but you don't know. So, yeah, I don't know what to say, man. Hopefully he'll get back a hold of me tomorrow and maybe go down there and look at it then. I think it would have been a good thing to look at. The borders are not open yet, Hans. Well, I mean, they are. Thailand actually opened like 37 borders between Cambodia and Laos, I think. But the requirements to get in are very, very restrictive. You still have to have your certificate of health, COVID-19 free, within 72 hours of arrival. You still have to have your $50,000 in life insurance, and there's still a $3,000 what if fee for your quarantine, which is mandatory 14 days in a government mandated hotel. So all in all, it's still a big hassle. So, and there are some borders that are still not open. So not all of them are open, I should say. Some of them are. Want to come back? That's good. Hello, His Grace News. Hey, Mark, Dave Adams, and there's Bob. Hey, Bob, For Real and Big J, they're both here. Yeah, like because this man is an agent working for the owner of the apartment building I was talking about. He probably didn't want to give me the location because he thinks I'm going to go there and make a deal with the landlord. But I did explain to him that, listen, I am just a friend of the guy you've been talking to on Facebook. I just want to go and check it out, make sure that the pictures are accurate. And, the apartment building is not by any big open sewer drains or anything where it's going to be stinky or anything like that. I was just going to make sure it was okay. And he did write me back and say, okay, I understand your thing. But I wasn't trying to cheat him out of any commission. The deal he has to make it has to be with the other guy that's going to rent it anyway. I wasn't going to, and I tried to explain that to him, but he didn't seem to want to understand. And then he wasn't very patient. That's the thing. It's like, like I said, I messaged him about 5:30 and said, we're going to be able to see it. He messaged me right back and said, how about right now? I said, yeah, give me a half hour. And, at 6:01, he was like, hey, if you're not going to show up, I'm leaving. And I was there by 6:17. So it doesn't seem like it was he didn't even have to wait an hour. So I don't know. But it was a weird day. But hopefully I'll still get to show you guys the apartment. That would be good. I know Jeremy and Claire, they have an apartment within that same price range, so we can get over there and take a look at that one also. Because I had some people from my cheap video series say they want to see apartments, between $200 and $300, and I had somebody say they want to see like expensive places, like $1,000 villas and things like that. Those ones might be a little difficult because I don't think they're just going to let anybody in to take pictures or film. I'm assuming that if somebody rents $1,000 villa, they probably expect a little higher quality service and privacy. So I don't know if they're just going to let some schlub off the street in to take a video of their place or anything like that. But maybe it will. Hey, Shane. Yeah, sometimes that does happen. Like Jeremy said, sometimes if you go through an agent, you tell them exactly what you want. And then when they start showing you around, there's nothing that you actually wanted. That's why I always say it's really better if you just come here and go walking around looking for an apartment. You can, or even ask like another expat who's been around for a while. They can kind of give you an idea, because if people come up to me and say, I'm looking for this kind of apartment, I can give you recommendations based on the amenities you want and the price, and have you go check it out. But the agents are just looking at their commission, so they might not be willing to do that. Yeah, they're just worried about their money. I have been watching, well, not really watching some wrestling, but I've been keeping up on what's been going on. Haven't had a whole lot of time to sit down and watch like I used to, but I'm still getting kind of tired of the no audience thing. It just doesn't feel the same watching it with no audience, no noise, no boos, no cheers. And there's also all that everybody's got to pre-tape things now because they don't know who's going to be gone for the week, who's going to be able to wrestle for the week, things like that. So there's a lot of pre-taped matches, and they're more cinematic in nature. They're not really free-flowing like I like. New apartment's going good. I have a video coming up where I'm going to tell you guys something about that. I'm not going to spoil it here, but did you want to watch the movie? I got an app on my phone. I'm trying to find her an action movie so that maybe she can watch it. I hope so. First of all, yes, I will make the tour around the Asia supermarket. That's the one. I couldn't remember if you said Asia or Angkor market, because there's two bigger markets here. One is the Asia market and one is Angkor market. I mean, there's more than those two, but I couldn't remember which one you had said. There are people often organize sporting events for locals and expats. It's informal. There's really no professional teams or anything, but they do play a lot of football or soccer, which, depending on where you're from, is what you call it. Somebody started a group for ultimate frisbee. Once a night, beginners welcome. Anybody can come and show up, play for 5 minutes, play for an hour, whatever you want. So people are always organizing sporting events of various sorts, but nothing official or nothing sponsored or anything like that, except for the schools, but now being closed, of course, that's not even a thing. But usually schools will have like their own, just like back in the West, they had the sports programs that have their own football team. Yeah, ultimate frisbee. Don't know what makes it ultimate frisbee. I just call it frisbee. It's frisbee. Yeah, every Wednesday. That's when it is. Sounds like a bunch of good guys and gals probably out there playing. So if that's your thing, I'm old. I will probably hurt myself or worse if I tried. But you will see sometimes driving or walking around, you'll see these big areas filled with sand, and they have volleyball nets. Volleyball seems to be popular in the provinces and the outer regions anyway. You see a lot of yards that have these big volleyball nets and an area filled with sand. And of course, they got the ball, and you'll see people out there playing back and forth. And there's one area that has like several, like it's dedicated. There's several volleyball stations set up inside this little gated area. Is there a nightlife here? Yeah, there's nightlife here. There's still a lot of bars that are open. Most of the nightclubs that you would consider, with the music and the flashing lights and the all the sweaty bodies bouncing off each other, those are all closed. But there's still bars here you can go to. Plenty of them still open. They just reopened the karaoke bars too, and the casinos. So it's slowly but surely opening back up. Of course, all these businesses have to follow certain guidelines and restrictions. Of course, Asian wacky sack. Oh yeah, hacky sack. Let me see. I'm coming over next year to retire. Just wondering what's the cheapest way to transfer UK sterling from a UK bank to a Cambodia bank. That I wouldn't know, because I'm not sure how the banks work over there. It's easy if you have your, your passport and your visa to open a bank account here. How to transfer it as cheaply as possible, I would say maybe TransferWise. I've heard good things about them. TransferWise, they're called. Either way, there's going to be a charge, and it's probably better to do that though, and have that one-time fee than keep getting money out of your overseas account here at the ATMs, because they charge you a fee for every withdrawal. And every time you withdraw, you get charged something. So doing it from an overseas bank in one lump sum to a Cambodian bank account in the long run is going to be cheaper, especially in a situation like you're coming here to retire. That would be better. What's my biggest surprise living in Cambodia compared to your belief before moving there? My biggest surprise. I have to give that some thought. I really studied. I mean, I studied. No, Thailand, Cambodia. No. UK, England, to Cambodia. I like to fly. But no, the man. He's coming here to retire. Retire. But actually, I would say in a town like Siem Reap, it's probably how many people actually speak English. I would say that. I really didn't expect that many people in town to speak English. So I would say that was my biggest surprise. Like I thought the language barrier was going to be way more difficult than what it is. And even the ones that don't speak English well, or they know just a few words, they know enough for what they're doing to communicate with you about it. Like, how much is this? Or, give me the price. They understand words having to do with the financial parts of their business so that they can communicate with you. Now, in the outer provinces, you're not going to get that. You're not going to get very many English speakers at all. But I was kind of surprised that in town, you did have quite a few of them. A casino tour? I don't go to the casino. I avoid the casino. I don't think we have one in town anyway. I think they're opening them up in Sihanoukville and Poi Phet. I think that's where the main hub of casinos are. Cool. The Philippines are letting long-term visa holders in starting August 15th. That's pretty cool. OFX app. OFX app for your transfer needs. Yeah. So if you don't want to use TransferWise, it's called the OFX app. I don't know Norbert Vila. I've never heard of that one. I know they have a lot of places to stay here, and they're called villas. But I am not familiar with that one, no. Oh, yes. There are some, it's quite common, in fact, for people in Cambodia to go across the border, like into Thailand or maybe Vietnam, because they don't need a visa or a passport. They just get a one-time paper. And so I'm guessing they probably know Thai, some of them probably more than English, because they just travel there all the time, probably have relatives. They might have relatives that work there or live there or something like that. Luke's doing okay. I guess his girlfriend's been sick for a few days, so she's getting over some kind of bug. Being a Westerner in an Asian culture, do you ever feel lonely, and does communication with expats help? Well, yeah, there are a lot of expats here, and whole groups dedicated to helping, I guess, other expats for the most part. But no, I never feel lonely. I mean, back when I was in the United States, I didn't have many friends anyway. Never really did anything. I am a social butterfly. So coming over here, that didn't really affect me. I'd never missed, hanging out with anybody or doing stuff after work with people because I just wanted to go home, chill out, be by myself anyway. So I never had a deep sense of loneliness. I do get out a lot more over here. I go out with people a lot more over here. So I guess you could say I think it's a good balance. I think so. But for real sense, there are a lot of expats here. So like if you came here, you wouldn't really have to worry. If you're more of a social type and you're the opposite of me, you would have no problem finding other expats to talk to or communicate with or ask questions or anything like that. You'd be good to go. There are lots of places expats hang out, bars, clubs, restaurants, like I mentioned, sporting events they organize. They organize bike rides sometimes, regular bicycles and also motorbikes. All kinds of activities always popping up. Trivia nights. A few of the bars have trivia nights for charity. That's always a big expat hit. My favorite Motorhead album. I've been listening to these Motorhead since I was 16 years old. I'm 56 now. And I can honestly say my favorite Motorhead album was always the one that came out last. To me, they just kept getting better and better and better. Now, maybe not necessarily the songs, because everybody's going to say Ace of Spades, I think, because that kind of put them on the map. It's the most familiar of their songs. But yeah, I would say the one that came out last, I forgot the name of it. But, well, actually, if I'm going to pick one, actually, I think if you're going to force me to pick just one, I will say 1916. 1916. Because I listened to that one a lot. I mean, a lot. TV situation. They have cable here, but one of the problems with when my buddy comes to stay here, he stays in a hotel, and a lot of them don't have any English-speaking channels. But you can pick, if you want to get your own cable, wherever you're staying, you can pick whatever channels you want and can afford. So you can certainly find some English-speaking channels, but you're not going to have the wide variety like you do back home. Obviously, they're not going to have all of them. But, they'll have, Discovery, CNN, things like that to keep you in the loop. But not a whole variety. And a lot of the cable here is in Kamai, they have a lot of news channels, I noticed, and soap opera-like programs. I'm assuming that's what they are. I don't understand them, but from what's going on, I'm assuming it's like a soap opera. I did not get any shots before I left. Nearest beach would probably be Koh Rong, I think. They do have a place called Cambo Beach Club. I don't know, but I think that's like a man-made beach. I don't think it's a natural beach. So the nearest one that would be like a natural one, I believe, is Koh Rong, if I'm saying that right. Oh yeah, get a VPN. Yeah. In the video I did, what apps to have for Cambodia. I didn't mention it in the video, but I have a free VPN you can download on your phone to use. There's a lot of geo-restricted sites that won't allow you to access them in Cambodia. So having a good VPN will help, because you can find all kinds of apps for streaming movies and TV shows. They're all free on the Google Play Store. Sometimes they get moved around, they have copyright issues, and sometimes they get taken down. But for every one that gets taken down, there's like 6 more you can use for like 6 months until they get caught. Oh yeah. Andy and Tanya are off to Greece to continue their adventure. They just spent the last 9 months there. And if you don't know them from the channel Going Nomad, aka Pigs on Bikes, they were also in Cambodia previously for I think almost 2 years. And then they went back, did a little traveling. They went back to England, did a little traveling, came back to Cambodia for 9 months, and now they're off to Greece. Does my YouTube channel get advertised in the U.S.? Yeah. Well, I mean, as far as I don't pay for advertising, obviously, but their algorithm works just the same. Like, yeah, YouTube here, you don't need a special access. It doesn't matter what country you're vlogging from, as long as people are looking at content that they think is similar enough to yours. You'll be recommended on the side panel there for recommended videos. It's like, hey, you're watching this one, you might want to watch this one. But I don't think I have to check my stats to be sure, but I believe the last time I checked, most of my viewers come from the UK, actually. Not even from the US. Most of the people that watch my videos. So I'm bigger in the UK than in my own country. But yeah, I don't advertise or anything. I know there's some services that, for money they offer to increase your views by advertising for your YouTube channel, increase your views and likes and subscribers. But those things are kind of hoaxy, kind of scammy, spammy kind of thing, and I don't want nothing to do with them, because when YouTube picks up on that, it might show up at first, but then when they pick up that something funny is going on, that there are bots involved, they could take down your whole channel, or they could just demonetize, or they could just take away all the likes and subscribers you built up by paying these guys, and you won't be able to do anything about it. So I always tell people, if you want to start a YouTube channel, that's awesome, but just do it naturally. Find your niche, find your audience, and just build slowly. Because using these services that promise you all this and that, YouTube finds out you might not have a channel anymore. Yeah, I would say if you're going to be playing games online, Xbox, PS4, then you should probably get your own really fast, high-speed internet. That's going to be a little pricey. The one I have is 10 megabytes per second. That's really the only speed I need. I don't really need much more than that, but they have some that go all the way up to, as much as you want, really. I saw one, it's a business, it's meant for like a bigger business, an all-in-one need, but it's like $320 a month, but you're getting like, no downtime, 600 and some megabytes per second or whatever it is. I mean, it's crazy speeds. So you can get anywhere from 4 megabytes per second all the way up to 30 or 40, depending on what you want to pay for. You probably need the higher ones if you're going to be doing a lot of playing online and that sort of thing. But Luke has a PS4, but he doesn't, or I'm sorry, he has an Xbox, but he doesn't play online, so he just uses the free internet that he gets at his apartment. And the free internet here is not fast at all, but it's enough for him to play his single player games, even if they require him to be online to get achievements and things like that. $200 gets you in terms of apartments. It'll get you a nice apartment, a really nice apartment. Like I said, I'm gonna go out and do the next videos on apartments between $200 and $300 a month. I wanted to start that tonight, but like I said at the beginning, blah blah blah, things went wrong. But yeah, I'll show you. You can generally find really nice apartments. They could have all the amenities most people would want. For $250. Spacious, big. A lot of them might even have a separate bedroom, so it's not like a studio with the bed in the main room. You might even get a one bedroom there. And especially now, all the COVID-19 prices, A lot of places are offering really nice discounts on their apartments, trying to get them filled up, trying to make a little money. I will say hello to Luke for you. You have to live for the rest of your life on a desert island. And you can bring one famous person, one book, and one record. One book would be Stephen King's It. It's always been my favorite book. One album. One album. Anthrax, Among the Living. It's just classic Anthrax. I love every song on there. There's no dull moments. There's not a song I feel like I want to skip over. So if I'm going to be there and that's the only thing I can listen to, might as well listen to the whole thing, right? Anthrax, Among the Living. And one famous person, depends on what you mean by famous. Internet famous or famous famous. But if I could have one famous person, I would probably say... Oh, he's dead, though. Everybody I'm thinking of is dead. I was going to say Anthony Bourdain, obviously, because he can pick some fruit, pick up some herbs, and make like a gourmet dish out of it. Gordon Ramsay, then. How about that? Gordon Ramsay. He'd be able to hook me up with food. He knows what he's doing. No, Bob, no. I would not ever pay for an apartment here in advance because first, even if they send you all these pictures and everything, it might not look like that when you get here. You might be getting apartment catfish. And it's really easy. Like I said, if you wanted an apartment, if you showed up in town tomorrow morning unexpectedly and didn't have a guest house, didn't have a hotel, and you said, I don't want any of that, I just want to find an apartment, we could walk around and find you one in a couple hours. You look at several options, different price ranges, pick the one you want. As long as you have the rent and the security deposit, you can move in the same day. It's really that easy to find an apartment. It's like the least, I promise you, it's like the least thing you have to worry about here. Like that should never be a cause for concern because it's absolutely possible to get one quickly within your price range. Strangest meat or culture shock food I've had here. Nothing really stands out. Oh, maybe Pearl Hawk. Yeah, I would say Pearl Hawk. Yeah, that's the strangest thing I've ever eaten, and I don't like it. I found out I don't like it. Pearl Hawk is basically fermented fish. Fish that has just been out in the sun, and they make it into a paste. They call it Cambodian cheese, and they put them in. They put it in these buckets, and it's gray and mushy at the market. And they scoop out, and put it in a bag. But it is a local delicacy. People love their Pearl Hawk. They love it. They often eat it raw, which is, it just smells like feet and dirty diapers to me. And but people here eat it raw. They have their fresh veggies and just eat it like a dip. They put it in their foods to cook. But other than that, I like the crickets, but I don't think that's really strange or unusual. A lot of cultures eat bugs of various types. But I only eat the crickets because I like the crickets. When they're fried and with chili peppers and spices they put in there, they're great. They're fantastic. They're great beer food. If you're drinking a few beers, have a bag of crickets. They're really, really tasty and only like $1. Yeah, be careful asking for cheese. Make sure you mean American cheese or Western cheese, because that's how they got me. I said, "What is this?" They said, "You want to try?" I said, "What is it?" They said, "Oh, it's Cambodian cheese." I was like, "Oh, cheese." When your brain's expecting something, you say, "Oh, I'm going to eat cheese," and then you put it in your mouth, and it is not anything like you want it to eat. I was like, "Oh, thank you." I didn't want to offend anybody, but And I was like, oh God, oh no. But I love it. Croc. She makes her own Croc little like side dishes, and then she'll go buy the Croc and mix it all together and eat it up. Do you think visa for foreigners is going to be harder to get after the coronavirus? No, I don't think so. Anything could happen. I don't think it's going to be harder. I mean, after the coronavirus, actually, it's going to be easier because right now you can't get a visa on arrival. You have to get your visa at an embassy or consulate from your a Cambodian embassy or consulate in your country. You have to get it in advance before you arrive here. So, if anything, once this virus is over, it's going to be way easier again because it was easy for me. I flew in on Qatar Airlines, went up to the desk, told them what I wanted. They got it for me, went through security, got my bag, out the door. No hassle, no problem. Rotten fish stuff is gross. Yeah. I've never really used an internet cafe, but from what I hear, they're all very, very nice, very affordable. They all have the fastest internets they can find for that kind of purpose. Most of them usually have areas you can rent, like an office space if you need to hold a private meeting or a video conference or something like that. And a lot of them will let you use it for not for free, but as long as you're eating or you have something to drink there, you're good to go. So people go in and buy like a coffee for like $1.50 and milk it for an hour, maybe an hour and a half, and then some will charge you just money by the hour. So it depends on which ones you go to. I know, like I said, I've never been inside to use one, but there was that one on Watbo Road where I used to live. I forgot the name of it, but they have an open Wi-Fi, really fast, so you could like stand outside. Didn't even have to go in and buy anything. You could just stand outside and use their super fast Wi-Fi. Of course, you couldn't camp out there. You couldn't put a chair and a table outside with your laptop. But if you didn't have any data on your phone and you were out of your Wi-Fi range, you were walking by, you could stop and go, okay, let me check my Facebook while I'm here. What's the number one thing I miss from the United States that you can't get in Cambodia? There's not really much you can't get here, but the issue is the things that are imported are way more expensive even than they are back, like wherever it is you come from. So that's the thing. It's like if I could say I miss, maybe pizza rolls. Let's say Totino's pizza rolls. I used to eat a lot of those back home. I love pizza rolls. Used to buy the box, it's got 15 single file on a paper plate in the microwave for like 2.5 minutes, 3 minutes, whatever it was. Boom. Can't find those here, so that might be it. But even if you could find something similar, like I would pay $1 for a box of those back home. But if I found something similar here, it would probably be like $1.75, maybe $2, maybe $2.50, because if it's imported, there's an import fee, and everything is going to be more expensive. Like Pringles, back home, $1. I would buy a can of Pringles for $1. Here, they're usually $2.50, $2.25 sometimes. So the imported stuff usually more expensive. But if I did have to say anything, it would probably be pizza rolls, because I have not seen Totino's pizza rolls since I've been here. So I guess that would be it. Oh yeah, lots of coffee shops here. Lots of coffee shops. Brown's Coffee, Amazon Coffee, Noi Coffee, Jeans. I think it's called Jeans Coffee. You see these stands all over, and some of them have stands in different parts of town. You see the same names over and over. But my favorite ones to go to are those little ones that people are pushing, or they have a little motorcycle. They just go from area to area. They're really small, the ones that, and they got all the condensed milk lined up and all the cups and thing to cook the, make the coffee in. Those are my favorite ones because you get a big cup of iced coffee for like 50 cents. And all these little, fancy stands and everything charge you $1, $1.25, that kind of thing. But you can get a big one here for 50 cents. There's one of those little carts that park every day, and they might be there permanently, but they park their cart every day in front of Wat Dem Neck. And if you go down there, it's only 50 cents, and you get a big, pretty big thing of iced coffee. And it's good coffee, too. The good proportion of that bitter coffee taste with the sweetness of the condensed milk. It's not too much of one or the other like you get sometimes. So when I'm down there, I definitely have to get one. Internet cafe, yes. Yeah, I could show you around the inside of some of the cafes. We have one over here. We have a couple over here by us, as a matter of fact. We can show you what those look like. They shouldn't have a problem with us coming in and just filming, as long as we're not filming the people that are actually customers there. So, and then you want one on the Asia supermarket. Like I said, I forgot if you said Asia or Anchor. They're kind of the same, but one's a little bigger. So you can be looking for a channel for a reel. They're the link to their channel is down below. They're going to be putting up a vlog about coffee shops, I believe. I think that's what they're talking about. Right now, we are close to our goal for the month. $50 more, and we're set there. And then don't forget, my birthday is at the end of the month. So if you want to donate and send me money, and try to get single iPhone, so she could give me that look. Anybody who's married or has a girlfriend, you know about that look. Whenever you mention something about the phone, it's like, yeah, you got one. I don't know. But for all the educational stuff and feeding the kids stuff, it's just 50. What's 24/7 in Siem Reap? Well, they have a couple bars, Cozy Bar and I believe Draft Bar. So there are two bars that I know of that are open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. They have some convenience stores that are open 24 hours a day. I can't recall if there's any restaurants that are actually open 24 hours a day. I don't know about that. But yeah, you got some bars, you got some supermarkets that are open 24 hours a day, I believe. Some convenience store type places. But even if something's not open 24 hours, like you can still usually find food any time of day or night. There's always seems to be carts around. If the cart you're looking for is closed up for the night or whatever, there's generally another one close by selling almost the same thing. You can always find something to eat or drink most of the time. Oh, Wine O'Clock. Yeah, Wine O'Clock is, and that's a restaurant too. Yeah, Wine O'Clock, it's called. Restaurant and bar. They're open 24 hours a day. And a lot of these restaurants now are going with a service called Food Panda. It's a food delivery service here in Siem Reap. So that's another app I guess I would recommend because it's becoming big and they don't charge a lot for delivering your food. They'll go pick it up, bring it right to wherever your location is. So you might want to consider, if you're coming over here, downloading that one also, Food Panda. And they have a list of different restaurants that use their service, and you can look through each restaurant, what they have on the menu, then order what you want from there. So I would definitely recommend that. But other than that, everything is going smoothly. Like I said, I have a great story to tell you guys about our apartment, but I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to do it in the next video. I basically wanted to have this live stream to make sure, first of all, to say hi to everybody, and second, to make sure that I could do this with the internet, and it was going to be a little better than my free internet was. Because if you remember, I always had issues with the stream, disconnected or slowed down, or bits of it were cut off after I was done and it uploaded. It was just a mess. So hopefully we don't have none of that. Joey Belladonna or John Bush? Joey Belladonna, of course. Of course, Joey Belladonna. Come on, my favorite Anthrax album is Among the Living, and it's only possible because of Joey. Nothing wrong with Bush, but I was really, really happy when they got back together with Joey. Got 3 of the 4 members of Anthrax back together. That's always nice. And the 4th one, he's off becoming a Christian and making watches, I guess. I guess he's a watchmaker. I don't know. That was really nice. All right, guys. I'm going to get out of here. Not yet, but we're going by there, Shane. We're going by there either tomorrow or the next day if that guy calls about the apartment. We got to walk by that area, and I can show you guys the little Muslim area. All kinds of restaurants. They have a nice mosque. So I'll go down there and take some video of that. But I'm going to get off here now, and I'll be uploading another video tomorrow. Even if we can't get to the apartment, we'll find something because there's a lot of stuff to do. And I don't want to make these too long because on the replays, people just don't watch. People just don't. You want to look at that, you got to keep it short. That's all I'm saying. All right, guys. Thank you for showing up. And be sure to check out all my links down below. For Reel's channel is down there. Other channels in Cambodia, all my social media is down below. Senglai's channel is down below. Khmer Cooking with Senglai. You can see her actually make food. Tormo. Yeah, Tormo. And all that other stuff. And books, t-shirts, blah, blah, blah. All that good stuff is down below. Now, I'll talk to you guys later.